We're live.
We're live
We're
again.
here. We're back.
We're a little bit less hot, but still.
Yeah, it's a little bit less hot here now.
Yeah.
But hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Welcome to Friendly Fire Fridays, installment number 6.
Installment number 6. It's getting better. I mean, like the weekly thing is like getting into my system. So I'm very happy that I have my co-host here again. My name is Martijn. I'm from the Alliance Open.
And I'm Stefan
From the Alliance Open.
from
as
the
well.
Alliance Open.
Yeah. So he's the propaganda officer, and I would be sometimes called the terrain manager, or I don't know. There's no real.
The guy
Real
that does
name?
lots of stuff.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's we were here at like 3 hours ago, but we
Yes.
tried like to play a game.
We tried though. We like succeeded like halfway through, right?
Yeah, so we're halfway through.
But yeah.
But it gave us a little hiccup to start the stream,
We really wanted to play a game.
and we wanted to like take pictures and then show you the pictures what happened. But currently we're only in round 3, so
Yep.
we don't have a lot to show you. It's me with my Dark Angels and Stefan with his Orcs.
Yep.
And as it looks now, he is on the winning hand at the moment.
Yeah.
And the reason is that he has a lot of board control. So we'll get into it later, but
We can talk about it a little bit
we
later.
can talk about it a little.
Yeah. So how are you doing? Let's start with that, Martijn. How are you doing?
My holiday is almost over.
You are?
So I
Could
have
you-
only 1 week left.
Could you do me a favor? Tilt the camera a little bit more.
Like-
Yes,
like
that's
this?
perfect. That's perfect.
So I have only 1 week left for my holidays, and then I'm gonna have to start working again.
Oh, sad face.
Well, I had 6 weeks. I mean,
That's pretty good.
that's the good thing about.
Yeah,
being
you're a teacher, so yeah, you've
Yeah.
got like lots of weeks of vacation,
Yeah.
which is nice.
So I have 1 week left to like do all my start up all my lessons. So I have to do everything, plan everything ahead and everything. So and I have 1 week to make sure that all the Alliance Open stuff that I want to do before I start to teach again
Mm-hmm.
to have it finished. So I have a very busy week next week, but it's okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
At
you know,
least
you gotta
it's
get back. You gotta get back to work. Gotta earn the money. Gotta buy the models. Buy more models.
especially all those new models.
Yeah.
Maybe those old models, those firstborn with an extra wound. So we'll talk about the bomb that dropped yesterday a little later. We're gonna do first, of course, our intros with all the numbers and stuff, and then we'll get into a
Yeah.
little bit more.
So we've got the numbers. This for this week. Later on, we're gonna talk about our little game.
Yeah.
We've got Ruud this.
Yeah, we got a long talk for about 40 minutes with Ruud Steenbakkers, the Dutch captain of the WTC team.
There you go. Very interesting.
We're talking. I did an interview again, and we're talking a lot of stuff. So it's gonna be awesome.
Okay. And then we've got our newest segment.
Yeah, that makes. Look at him smile.
Yeah.
Look at him.
I'm all for it. So what should we start with? Because we're starting with the numbers, right?
Yeah, we're first talking about numbers simply because there are two reasons.
Mhm.
England put the Holland on the orange country list.
How dare they?
Yeah, how dare they?
How dare
So
they?
when you come back from the Netherlands and you go back to England, you have to have a 2-week quarantine. That's will last until September.
Yes.
So that doesn't mean anything for the Super Major yet, but it does mean something for our English friends that's coming over for the Age of Sigmar tournament.
Yes, it does.
So they'll probably not come if someone wants to be in 2 weeks quarantine. Well, that's their choice, of course.
Yeah.
But we completely agree. If like, okay, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
As said before, when you will choose not to come to our event because of the government canceling or prohibiting the event in some way, you will get a voucher. If
Mhm.
you're from a country that says, okay, you cannot go to the Netherlands. If the Dutch government says, okay, we're not going to allow you in, then you'll get your money back. So
Okay.
please, if you have any news about that, just contact us and we'll work it out. That's not going to be a problem at all.
Okay. So that's good though. It's
Yeah,
sad.
that's
It's
good.
sad that our English friends can't or probably won't come
Yeah.
because, like you said, if they come over and they go back,
They have to be in
they have to be in a 2-week quarantine. It's mandatory.
Mhm.
Which let's be honest, nobody really wants to be in a 2-week mandatory quarantine unless you have lots of models to paint. Maybe.
Yeah,
I wonder.
And you maybe work from home or something.
Let's speculate.
You have a work.
If you're in a mandatory quarantine, will you still get paid for work? Like, will they say, well, it's nothing you can do about it?
Maybe if you have to go for work.
Yeah.
But you'll never. If you can make Warhammer say, okay,
you could try.
Work,
you could try.
Let me tell you how you did it, and then I want to do it too. So.
Okay. Yeah. So if anybody manages to come here for our tournament, manages to convince their work that they went there for work,
yeah,
without going into the specifics.
That would be awesome.
Give us a call.
Yeah, give us a call. Yeah, because I want to do that. I want to know what you did.
Give us a call.
Yeah, please do.
Please do.
So that means that the Age of Sigmar tournament will have maybe 2 or 3 drops because there were UK guys coming in because they had the LGT tournament normally in that weekend. So okay, LGT was cancelled and they said okay, let's go to the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Let's go to our GT, and now they have to say well I cannot come. So that's sad.
It is sad. We've got lots of great players coming over from England every time.
And I have a little scoop. Little scoop.
Okay.
If everything goes well.
Yes.
And we can do tournaments again in 2021.
Yeah.
At Van der Valk, because it seems like we can do it the first half year at Van der Valk again.
Okay.
That means that we'll have an Age of Sigmar GT in the newest year. So we're gonna we're gonna do another one.
Yeah.
So I think that makes the Age of Sigmar guys very, very happy to hear that we'll do another GT again in 2021.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and Stefan, that always makes you happy as well because you play AOS at the moment.
Yeah.
As much as you do 40k, right?
So, fun fact: we as some of you may know, we've been doing a TTS tournament, a tabletop simulator tournament. We've been playing Age of Sigmar because we can't play for realsies, so you have to do something. It was 3 rounds. First 3 rounds I won. I'm just gonna make a little story out of it. Yeah, make a little story. So I played Big War. So a bunch of orcs. Yeah, very killy, very stompy, very fast, and actually quite good on the objectives. So first 2 games were actually very hard, but I managed to win. And then for the first 3rd round, I played Agnes, and Agnes plays Seraphon. And subsequently, continued to stomp the living hell out of me in pretty much 1 turn.
Yeah,
it was pretty brutal. It's because I saw her list. It's a list. It's basically Lord Croak. It's 2 Bastillodons that can shoot. She has 2 Skinks, so for some CPs, the Bastillodons can shoot twice. She has a bunch of Skinks that screen everything, and then she has a Stegodon. That was more like a fun kind of unit, like a Stegodon, the engine of the gods, and then 3 Salamanders, those things are grossly effective for points.
We actually did these lists were built pre FAQ, right? So for points,
yes.
So Salamanders actually went up a lot of points,
yeah.
Which is completely fair. In my opinion,
I think that entire army, I'm not saying they're overpriced, but for their points cost, they are very effective. Yeah, very effective.
And with the amount of CP, you can usually do all the command abilities that you want.
She said some things that made me laugh. Agnes is a wonderful player. She said, I said like, yeah, well, you'll be flooded in CP because you get 1 each turn, and then Croak rolls 3 dice, and on each 4 ups, you get another one. And she says, well, I don't know, I'll still be starved. I'm like, come on, please, no, because basically you only really need the 2 for the double shooting of the Bastillodons. Anything more than that is just gravy on top of it, right?
Yeah, indeed.
So I went in with my Megaboss and Maw-Crusher. That's the the wrecking ball of the army, and I also have a unit of 6 Gore-Gruntas. Those 2 units are basically my most pricey and most killy units in there. But basically what happened was she has so many screens, so she screened it. So I killed a bunch of skinks, and then she killed my but I had to. I was forced to, because the thing is, it was a mission where characters only can take objectives, and that's how you win, right? Taking objectives and points. Mm-hmm. And Croak simply says every turn, all of your characters get D3 mortal wounds.
Yeah, simply every
that's what he does. This is
Yeah.
what he does. So I have no choice but to be hyper aggressive and get on those objectives.
And hope to see
Yeah.
if you can.
So
kill
spoiler
them.
alert, didn't work. But so I charged my Mega Balls in, I charged my Gorgons in, killed like a bunch of skinks, and then she just killed both units in one turn, like with ease, I should say. And that was, well, I'm kind of screwed. And then she also in the second turn killed most of my other characters. And
then she has basically
Yeah.
3 turns to score.
yeah, so I
Which is
conceded right then and there. That list is brutal.
So
And
that actually means that Agnes actually won the tournament.
yes.
Meaning she actually won a GT ticket.
Yep.
And
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Of course. I talked to her about it, and she said,
Round
"Okay,
of applause.
I can like give her a refund." But
Yeah, she already
said-
had a ticket, she said.
Yeah, so she said, "Could I use it for next year?"
Sure.
So we're like, "Sure, no
Yes.
problem." So we already have number 1 for next year.
Yes. Yes. So she beat me with what she said was her fun list.
Yeah.
Fun for who? So
But it wasn't
that was
last, right?
that was no. I'm not mad at it at all. It was a good game. It went about as much as I expected, but it was a good game.
So, and do you recommend playing Warhammer Age of Sigmar on Tabletop Simulator?
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, the thing with Tabletop Simulator is it's great for just testing out armies and stuff like that. But it's a bit fidgety, and it doesn't have the charm of playing in real life with your friends. It's not the same. But if you're not in a position to play as much as as often as you would want, actually in person, this might be actually a good alternative to just get some games in and actually practice practice.
Models,
Yeah. It's great for that stuff.
Yeah, so for those guys watching and those guys wondering, maybe we'll do another one in the future. Depends also on things like weather, COVID, or whatever. If it's gonna be very cold in like December or January, and it's like very snowy and there's not a chance you can go outside, well, Tabletop Simulator is a very good way to get those games in and maybe do a few more. So
Yep.
easy way to get your games on.
You betcha. Yeah, it is. I think people will play less now that you get to play in person more again. But for the time being, it was quite a good alternative, really.
Yeah. So Age of Sigmar currently is around like 52-53% sold. And after that, of course, we'll have the Night Age. It's going to be on the Sunday. And the Night Age actually is over 80%. There's only 10 tickets left for the Night Age. And that actually makes me very happy to see the community like that we don't see that often.
Mm-hmm.
And we organize an event and they're like, okay, we're going to come again.
Okay.
So they were very happy to see that we only have 10 tickets left. So we already have 54 players.
That's pretty good.
Which is pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
And then for Warhammer 40k, we can say it every week. We already sold out.
Did
Yeah, we did.
nice.
And today I actually finished the draft rules pack, and the guys will look at it tonight. So CJ and Danny and Peter will look at it tonight, and tomorrow we'll actually post the rules pack for the No Surrender.
Yeah,
And
sweet.
we can tell you this: No Surrender will still be single faction, so you can only have one faction in your army, which is something that was last year was the first time
Yeah, we
did
did
a No
that.
Surrender,
Yeah.
and all people liked it very well. And I think that it actually is a very good segue from 8th into 9th. Like, okay, I can do only one faction, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to not combo the shit out of everything, so okay, let's go for one faction.
Yeah.
2,000 points, 3-hour games, and we actually already picked the missions. It's going to be mission 2, 5, and 8, so that's going to be 12 in the rules book,
Mhm.
12, 22, and 32.
There you go.
So if you want to already
Mark the page
start,
numbers, folks. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can get your practice in.
and
I-
everything will be in rules pack. So
Yeah, I really like single faction. I really like that.
yeah. I think
It's
there
my
are-
favorite.
I think there is a few armies that would like to soup like Chaos at the moment.
Mm. Well,
Maybe some Eldari, but it also makes sure that you will not put an assassin in your army, which for me, like for Imperium.
Yeah.
So you have to really think about what you're gonna do with your 2,000 points. I'll probably never take an assassin again because it's 100 points, which was, I mean, all my units went up already. So
Yeah.
if I'm gonna lose another
Yeah.
100 points,
So-
my list already is very elite at the moment.
Yeah, so when units start costing more, so you have less room. So basically, you're going to screen more. Like, which units do I really need instead of what extra units can I sprinkle on top that will give me some extra options. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, so we're very happy to see that those
we are
we're very happy that we finished the rules pack, and that actually is like a template for the Hanseatic Open. It's going to be a week later.
Yeah.
We actually finished that rules pack as well, but there were a few minor differences because it's in Germany. In Germany, face masks are already mandatory, so we have to put some stuff into the rules pack as well. And for those guys reading the rules pack, please make a note of page number 1. It's going to be a COVID statement with everything that needs to know about COVID. And this Monday we'll actually talk about maybe going the extra mile on all the COVID things, because for those guys wondering, we're a Dutch organization.
Yes.
But there are a lot of people coming from the outside at the moment.
Yes.
This tournament in September is going to be not a lot, but in November during a super major, there's like 52% of the players coming from outside.
Yeah, from outside Holland.
And we think that those people are very used to like mandatory masks and different like in Holland we are kind of loose, but it's okay, it's not a problem. But maybe we should like implement some things from the outside as well. So that's we're really thinking about it.
Because like you said, our audience isn't just Dutch people. We've got, like you said, people coming from what have you, England,
from the UK,
Germany,
Sweden.
all of those countries have, for events, it's mandatory to actually wear masks.
Yeah.
Now we were talking about it a little bit earlier this evening or this afternoon, and it's still in discussion. Nothing is set in stone. But the thing that the point that did arrive is, even though here it's not mandatory to wear masks, we still have people that come from other countries where it is, and they might not feel as safe or comfortable if they come here and they see nobody, 50% of the people aren't wearing masks.
Nope.
No.
And what some of you already realize, because some people talk to me about it, like if those people from outside come here and we are like we're like an event where COVID has like exploded. We as an organization have a real.
Well, it gives you a bad name.
It gives us a bad name, and we worked very hard for the name we have right now.
And most of all, we don't want people to get sick.
And that's
take that back to their own countries.
Yeah.
That's something that's very unethical.
Yep.
So that's the thing. That's what we're considering, guys. And we hope that once decisions have been made, we hope you guys can understand that.
So for I see Chris in the chat and I see Milos in the chat. Just tell us what you think about it, man. If you're like, okay, well, I really understand you guys. Just write it in the chat. We'll be. I can write along. I have my laptop in front of me, so I can still read everything.
Yes.
Just give us your opinion. I mean, an opinion is it's not something we need to do something about, but maybe we can
people voicing their opinions is always welcome.
Yeah. So that's something we are working on. So if you read the rules pack, just read the first page first, because there are a few things like please stay at your table.
Yes.
Go to your table as fast as possible.
Yes.
And everything else.
Rules of safety, basically.
Simple rules. And we actually watched the Vanguard Tactics podcast, and he also said, if you keep to those rules, we don't want to disqualify anyone for COVID-19 stuff. If I would want to disqualify someone, it would be game related and not something. Okay, I don't want to abide by the simple rules.
Well, to be fair, we wouldn't rather disqualify anyone at all, but rules are there to be followed, and they aren't there for fun, especially the COVID rules. They're there for safety and for health. So those are actually going to be rules, and if you violate the rules, well, you are basically violating safety of other people, and that will be taken very seriously.
Yeah, indeed.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Because
everybody comes there to have their fun, and we have to ensure that the environment where they come for is a safe environment.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, and I think you would also like the Alliance Open to do more events next year, and if we would have like a real, if we would have a problem, like someone would come check on us, and we have a lot of cases coming.
Yeah.
In our event, there's a big chance that we'll say, okay, you cannot do any events anymore.
Well, you're liable. It's your event. That's
Yeah.
the thing too. You're liable.
Yeah, we're liable. Yeah.
Yes.
And if you've become a liability, you're a problem. And maybe Van der Valk even said, okay, you cannot come anymore.
For example, so it's not just that. It's also for the future of our events, really.
It's for the future.
For the future of our events, folks.
Yeah. So okay, so we've talked COVID enough.
Yes.
Everyone has talked COVID.
Everybody's sick of it.
Yeah.
But
We simply had to. So we currently are working, like we have over 200. We sold 211 tickets for the Super Major. So we officially we're getting very close.
we're trucking along.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer to maxing out. I mean, over 80% sold. I'm very happy in this time.
Yeah, very nice.
And we are working very hard on our high roller package, and that's gonna be
High roller.
High roller. So that's gonna be we're not gonna call it the high roller package because it's stolen from Las Vegas Open, but we will make something similar. And that means during the event we'll have coins to get your drinks.
Yes.
And with this package you'll actually already get 40 coins with a discount.
Sweet.
And a lot of sweet stuff.
Yeah.
Like dice tray and more stuff.
There's gonna be
We're working on a very sweet deal for you guys so that you make sure that you have everything you need and more. And then
everything and then some. That's bold words.
No, Chris, that's a good question. 40 drinks is a beer is 2 coins, and 1.5 drinks would be a soft drink. So Coca-Cola would be 1.5, and beer would be 2, and I think
so 20
Mars and
drinks.
stuff would be like one coin. So if you wanted something to eat,
So around 20 drinks.
yeah. So yeah.
He says I would be flippin' wasted.
Yeah.
Is it coming to the table? All right, you bitch.
Let's get
it on. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
If we give you 40 drinks, will you promise to be flat shit face wasted every day?
And then
win the tournament? Yeah. And then we'll refund you all your coins for next year.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do.
Well, now you're promising stuff we maybe cannot do. So
I'll do it personally. If you are shit face wasted, you win the tournament, I will personally pay all of your drinks for next year. I will do it.
Okay, Chris, you know it, right?
Yeah.
Is winning sportsmanship okay? Well, if you're shit wasted, I don't think I will vote for someone who is wasted out of his brains playing 40k.
Depends how nice he's being.
Yeah, but if you have to have 1.5 meters apart so you won't smell his beer.
I mean, it'd be pretty cool if you come up there and you're one of the top players and he's just beating you wasted. He's like a drunken master. but he's also a nice guy. I'd vote for that guy.
That's true. Okay, show up in the mask.
Yeah. Cheers.
Can I have another one, please?
Yeah, make a little balloon. Oh.
Okay. So we're digressing now to something really weird, but it's okay. Let's talk. So we kind of talk numbers. I mean, it's not as spot on as it was before because it's simply so a few people always come week after we sell a few tickets, and when we get close to that 100% super major ticket sold out stuff, we'll probably go like bananas and do like balloons and stuff. So
balloons, eh?
Balloons.
All right, very nice.
So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, balloons.
And we could talk numbers from last week because last week we had the pre-orders.
Yes.
We had a big order from Canada, which made us very happy. We had a club from Haarlem buying 17 resizers.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah.
we're very happy with that.
Shout out to Haarlem then.
Yeah, shout out to Haarlem. So Haarlem.
Yeah. Whoop whoop.
So that made us very happy. So CJ is currently on a holiday.
Yes, it's very quiet here.
Yeah, so it's very quiet.
Very
here.
peaceful.
So we'll make sure that everything gets bought before we do, of course, and the pre-order. It's still 1 week left.
Yes.
Make sure that if you buy something, get over those €100 to get a free T-shirt.
Yes. It's the one you're wearing, right?
That's the same as I'm
so
wearing.
show the
right
people.
now.
You need to.
So
yes, there you go. Yeah, here you go.
Yeah,
There
like
he
this.
is. Eat, sleep, game, repeat.
Yeah, and then on the back is of course is the Alliance
This
Open
Alliance
logo.
Open logo.
So
You can fly our logo, be part of the gang, the posse,
yeah, the
the
Alliance
homies,
Open gang.
in the club with the homies.
Yeah.
Trying
That's
to
like our song.
trying to
Like
get a
our
little
shit.
GI up.
Yeah,
that keeps coming
Yeah,
back.
that keeps going back.
Yep.
It's like very romantic over here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, and we want to say to you guys, we're actually working on making those table layouts perfect for you to have like the first 40 tables during the Super Major will be 8 different layouts probably, or 5 different layouts.
Yeah.
8. So it's going to be, if you're a top player, we'll make sure that you'll be on a good table. There's still a lot of different teams, so you
Yes.
don't know, okay, so it's going to be this table for the top 40. No, we'll have different tables.
Mhm.
So maybe you're lucky and you get your best table.
I
But
mean,
you could be unlucky and have like
we
that.
think they're all pretty balanced, right? They all have good coverage, but every theme has kind of like different types of terrain now.
Yep.
So, so there are going to be actually, because terrain is pretty significant.
Yeah.
We've already seen it in our game. Like stuff that makes it harder to charge. If you are standing inside of it, you get these extra abilities on the
it's cover
Overwatch
plus
and
one
what
hit
have
or
you.
whatever. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's pretty significant now. So, it's going to have a bigger impact, I feel, on
Funny
our...
thing is, I actually forgot that over that the incursors being charged by your. I said I get +1 hit because I was.
Oh, yeah,
and
but,
I actually
but they were
forgot.
already dead. But moving along. So,
Oh yes, so Chris, you're actually asking in the future, do you want to work to a standard setup for let's say top 50? So we'll have standard setups, but we'll have different ones in the top 50. So just like our factory tables and our Necron tables and our Alba tables, we'll have like 1 to 5 is going to be 5 different ones, and then 6 to 10 is going to be the same as the 1 to 5. So yeah, so exactly what you're saying. In the style of LVO, where there's variety, but top tables you know in advance what you're getting. Yeah, that's actually very true. Yeah.
so you know what kinds of tables there are.
Yeah.
You just don't know for sure
No.
what table you would play on. But that's actually pretty good to know, because you can kind of prepare.
Yeah, and if you're unlucky and you play your first 2 games, which is completely possible, on tables which doesn't favor you because they're more like thematic or not those tables.
We still have those, yeah.
Yeah, we'll still have a lot of thematic tables. For Age of Sigmar, Agnes already saw them. I'm actually building the Realm of Gur.
The Realm of Gur!
And it's gonna be like this.
There you go.
So
The spine.
It's gonna be inspired like this is a dog bones.
Dog bones, eh?
Yeah.
Them dog bones.
Yeah. So and it's gonna be like a June type of thing.
I thought it was Danny's spine for leaving us.
Well,
No,
if
I'm
his
just
spine,
kidding.
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
The video you saw last week was like a fake. We already.
Yeah, we replaced we replaced him with a hologram.
Yeah, it's a hologram.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so so the pre-orders are still on. Please make sure to check them out. If you want something for your club and you want more than one table, please contact us. Maybe we can do something for you. If you want to say, okay, I just don't want to do the shipping costs, in September we'll have our event. So if you say pick up at event, we'll make sure that it's going to be on your name and you can pick it up at the
Yes.
No Surrender or at the AOS tournament or whatever.
Very
So,
convenient.
Yep. So it's going to be very good.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. What shall we do? Shall we just go to the talk with Ruud?
We could do that. Maybe just a tiny little intro of who Ruud is.
Yeah. So I had a talk with Ruud Steenbakkers. He is currently the captain for the WTC for the Holland team. This is his first year as a captain, and we actually want to make it a really good team for next year. He wants to say, let's go to top 25% of the world or something like that. And he actually is saying, okay, we're gonna do training days. We're gonna do. Someone is gonna make homework. So you're gonna have like a sort of assignment saying, okay, what would you do in this situation, on getting points and everything. So we're very happy to as Alliance Open to sponsor those guys. 'Cause
We're sponsoring.
yeah,
that, huh?
so we're sponsoring the Alliance Open sponsors the WTC team with T-shirts and with other stuff for next
Very
year.
cool.
So they're
Very cool.
yeah, and I'm actually talking with Ruud about a lot of things. So tactics, what do you think is the difference between WTC and ITC that was before is completely changed, and actually last year, of yesterday, the new FAQ for the WTC came out, and the FAQ for WTC is like a real thing because it has a lot of clarifications to make the game even more streamlined.
Okay.
And it always has an impact on the game. So that's something we'll talk in the future about the WTC FAQ. What's going to be the impact? It's going to be in Austria next year.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be around this time. At this moment, was supposed to be the WTC.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Correct.
COVID.
Yeah.
COVID
Yeah. The big C.
Yeah. So the big C. Okay. So. The sound is a little bit.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah. So you were.
I'll fix it.
Yeah. Good. Shall we go to Ruud and me?
Let's go to Ruud. So here we go.
Yo.
Good evening. Hello, Ruud. How are you doing?
I'm well, man. Fucking
Yeah?
hot.
Yeah. So this is Ruud Steenbakkers, the captain, the new captain from the Dutch team, and we're here to talk about the WTC and how he's actually doing. So let's start off with the most important question: how is your last weeks? How were your last weeks with the dropping of ninth and with the hot weather in Holland and stuff?
Yeah, well, hot weather is, just getting used to. I've got an aircon in my car, so if it's really getting hot, I'll just live there. Ninth edition, really like it. It's more challenging. Really happy that it's blended everything together. So no ITC, no Maelstrom cards, no this, no that. It's just one game now.
Yeah.
That's really good. I'm into about, what did I do? 10, 15, maybe 20 games.
All with the same faction, or have you been changing a little bit?
Well, I started to put a challenge on me because we all knew ninth was coming, but
Yeah.
I was just challenging myself and say like, you know what? I'll take the shittiest army that's probably very difficult to play. I'll just go mono Harlequins.
Mono Harlequins. Okay, well that is
Mono
challenging. If you look at the end of 8th edition, I mean with the release of the White Dwarf with Psychic Awakeness and stuff, they had some tricks, but they were
White
not.
Dwarf was-
They were
the White-
B tier at best, I think.
Yeah, like maybe mid if you know the army really well. But I think ITC wise, with the Killmore, it was really difficult. And before getting any 9th edition rules, I was getting happier and happier the further I read because basically all the rules in 9th I ignore.
Indeed, and so 9th actually made you happier than the end of 8th, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's keep it that. Sure.
So we had a few games last week with like a WTC training day or a more an Alliance Open trainings day where we played like 6 games in 2 days at our workshop, and you've played the Harlequins, and I've seen you play with 2 different lists. One which was heavily like you had some bikes, you had some troops, but you had like a mixture of everything. And then the second one was like heavily pointed towards only boats, right?
Fusion boats, like 8 boats, 40 melta pistols, a couple of characters, and then divided over. I had 2 units of special close combat weapons as well.
So we recorded this on Tuesday, and yesterday something dropped, like a bomb drop. So do you think that your army, which was like guarded their characters with their boats and with everything, do you think you have a bigger problem now, or is it like, well, it's not even that bad?
I think it's just like the entirety of 9th edition, just learn to adapt. For the 8 boat list, I mean, almost every character is going to be inside a boat to begin with, except one Shadow Seer who gives -16 on the range of ranged weapons.
Which you'll always get behind line of sight.
Yeah. So if I'm playing 3 Thunderfire cannons, it might be shit, but it's -1 to wound, so they're wounding it on 4 ops.
You can give it -1 to hit.
If if I really want, but depending.
Depending on
I tried one of the stupid artillery Imperial Fist lists with the 3 Scorpius and 3 Thunderfire Cannon, and then 3 units of Eradicators and 3 units of
Eliminators. Yeah.
No, the shield guys.
Yeah, the shield blades. Yeah, the blade guard veteran stuff.
Veterans. It's the only game in 9th that I played with Marines, and I actually drew 70-70 against Sisters because they just didn't die and played the primary, which I got fucked up.
Yeah, so you actually said something real good about primaries. The primary is actually where it's at, right? If you don't have an army which scores 35 to 45 primary points, you don't have a winning army, right? At the moment.
Yeah, I think you should definitely get about 35 minimum on primary, and then the secondary is where you need to build your list on.
Yeah.
So where you can see the Imperial Guard players, everybody's using Scions now for deploy scramblers, line breaker, or
or engage on all fronts. Yeah.
Yeah, regional fronts. Eldar, everybody's has at least 2 units of warp spiders to do the same trick. Because Custodes now wants to have a deep striking Alaris unit, which if you really want to mess up somebody's day, you do unleash the lines, I think, and then you split it in 10 separate.
Split everything up, yeah.
You're like, cool, you're 16 points on line breaker, but
yeah, easy points, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think that's something that everybody has to adapt to. That it's not killy. I mean, to kill units is very good because you have to. But if someone doesn't kill you and still outmaneuvers you, he'll probably win the game against you.
Yeah, you just need to make sure that the enemy units that are on the objectives, you need to get them off.
Yep.
But still you can build a list which is mostly on killing stuff, like bring them down, assassinate. But it's all really dependent on your opponent.
Indeed. It's usually only you can only really take one of those kill secondaries. So that's why you have to build your list around the other 2.
Yeah, correct.
So
if you don't want to have an army with psychers, you're already losing, I think, 20% of all the secondaries for now.
Yep.
And that got already nerfed as well, because the psychic ritual, which I was thinking, I play guard, I get 3 astropaths, I run 1 in the middle, I do the psychic ritual.
3 turns, 3 turns in a row, and you have 15 points. Let's go. Yeah.
And they already factored that it has to be 1 single psyker who has to do it 3 times now. So that's already in effect as well, which is slightly weird because deploy scramblers you can do with any unit.
Yeah, so we have I hear a lot of talk about strategy already and about the secondaries being changed. Is it actually one of the favorite things in 9th edition that you think that changed, or is it what's your favorite thing that changed in this edition?
I think it's the 2 newest or the 2 biggest changes is the terrain and the CP. I like the fact that I don't have to get 2 battalions and a brigade to get a shit ton of CP nowadays. On the other hand, the terrain is for now really counterintuitive, because where you want to go, I'll put this unit in this piece of my unit in a piece of ruins, and then you can't see it. They go like, well, with the new rules, I can actually see through this little window, so I'm going to shoot your unit.
Yeah, and when you're not with your toe in terrain, it's like, I cannot see you.
Yeah. So
that's very counterintuitive. But I think the actual change with this FAQ that if you choose to have +1 on your cover save, like heavy cover, now you actually, when you get charged, you still get a cover save extra. So that was flipped in the rules book. So when you charged, you had a +1 save. And now it is the unit that gets charged or is in terrain gets +1, always gets +1 to his save, and when you charge, you don't get that bonus. So that's actually a very good thing for the new edition, I guess.
I agree, but if you play some weird army that only has invulnerable saves like Harlequins, you always choose for the +1 to hit.
Yeah, but I think the heavy cover is actually not optional. So it just says, okay, you get +1 cover, or you get +1 save in combat, right? So that's a big change from this FAQ as well. That's like a hidden gem for some armies. Because when you're on orc now, it's like, okay, I'm going to stand in terrain. I'm going to be on this objective. Go ahead and charge me. No problem.
They have at least a 5.
Yeah. Especially when they have no AP, like most Marines in turn 1, like I use incursors or infiltrators a lot. And it's like, okay, I'm going to tag you with this and I'm still going to do some damage. But right now you have +1 save next to that, so I'll even do less damage. So it's not that like tempting to charge a unit of scouts or a small unit of infiltrating other units. So I don't know.
I think it's still the other way around is better. If you put the incursors in terrain and you're going to charge them, they have a 2-up save and they really don't care.
That's true, yeah. That's true.
I mean, I have these 5 scouts and I have a 2+ save.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah. Yeah, especially those early chargers usually don't have a lot of AP. So, like the really early ones, so that's good.
No, I agree. But,
so we talked secondaries and we said, okay, and you already said, okay, ITC, WTC is all going to be a bit the same. I think it's a very good pack. I think with the faction specific one should be really good to be used in the game. But what are your first thoughts on the real missions like? What do you think is the big impact on the meta?
Well, the problem now with the meta is, like everybody already says, there's not a lot of tournaments. I mean, we had a small tournament, I think an 8-man tournament, and you guys are going to do 65 in September?
64, yeah, 64 in September. And then the big one in November, yeah.
Hopefully the super major, there is a tournament in was again in Sweden.
The Malmo, Malmo. We're gonna go together, right? If everything goes well.
And you guys are hosting an event in October as well in Germany.
Yep, the Hanseatic Open.
Yeah. So for now, the meta. I mean, everybody can win. We went to a small tournament, 8-day, an orc list won. With all the buggies. And then the second day, a Custodes army won. In the UK, there was a Salamanders list that won. There's Space list.
I've seen a Dark Elror win. I've seen Harlequin win. I mean,
so it's always with the beginning of an edition, everybody's looking for it, and people that already master their army in 8th with the same kind of rule setting know what they have to do.
Yeah. So we've seen the Intercessor spam, like the Intercessor Iron Hand spam again, which is no surprise because it's still a very good list.
Yes and no. I think it's not fast enough.
For this mission, if you have the survivability to withstand its shooting for 2 or 3 turns, you win the game because you can hold the objectives more.
Yeah, but it depends, because if you're playing a 6 objective hammer and anvil game, and you can sit behind at least 2 buildings now because a lot of terrain is near or on an objective.
And it's usually built to be like, okay, if you're in terrain, you get the objective,
behind the wall. If it's LOS blocking, the Iron Hands most of the time don't even have a Thunderfire cannon anymore. So then you sit on your 3 objectives, and then every turn you just throw a OPSEC unit there, and you disclaim him, and you get the 15 points, or he doesn't get it anyway.
Yeah, he has to charge into you, and then he doesn't get his shooting. And then it's just a bunch of intercessors attacking you, which is fine. In combat, it's better than getting the shooting of the Iron Hands in your face.
Yeah. And, so you just sit there and get points on primary, and if you're smart, you have something silly like keep your characters alive, or
the what is it? The when we stand, we fight. Secondary,
And against a list like that, you just do banners. You get at least 3 points, and that's 15. Because he has to come up front, but if you have like a close combat army like me, I'll just hide behind the wall, wait, screen out the Eradicator if they have any.
Yep. I'm currently, you see my list, I'm currently working with 20 Terminators. It's like, okay, I'm going to stand behind here with my Terminators with 3 up invul save. Good luck, Chuck.
Yeah, shoot everything.
Yeah.
If you roll those ups, huh?
Sorry?
If you roll those 3 ups.
Yeah, true. But if I'm in terrain, I always get like a 2 up, so...
You get a 1 up, that's fine.
Yeah, and usually you only have -1. So I think there's a lot of play, indeed, with different, like the meta is not shaped up yet. But I really think that the meta will evolve in the upcoming month to a thing where everyone says, okay, survivability is key, not shooty, survivability.
And it all depends what the first codexes are gonna do. Huh?
Yeah.
There's a lot of room. Well, there's a couple of internet nerds who already zoomed in on everything with the Space Marines and such. So we know that almost every chapter, what's he doing?
Yep.
And Imperial Fists still do the same, I think. Iron Hands do still the same.
Depends if the doctrines stay the same. Like if you can still get like ignore cover and devastated doctrine or whatever or such thing. So what they said, like Dark Angels get +1 to hit when you stand still and stuff. I mean,
that's there's a couple of small tweaks like Black Templars have reroll charge in advance now instead of picking one of the dice.
Yep.
Tricky. White scars are really good. Ignore the heavy for advancing.
And the biggest one for me, the change that I already saw from leaks, is that Terminators go to 3 wounds.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm really happy about that. So I'm already building my second set of Terminators. So I have 20 Terminators.
I'm already hoping that all my weapons will be at least damage 3 now or something.
We'll see. I mean, Melta already has a leak, right? So, like the +2 damage, 2 plus d6.
The multi-Melta.
Yeah. If that's true, that's extreme. I mean, and I've seen the Heavy Flamer already with +3 range.
12 inch, yeah.
So Stern Guard suddenly have a place in the meta.
Yeah, the 2 Heavy Flamers and 8 Combi Flamers.
Yep.
In the drop off. Really happy with my -6 inch shadows here.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, yeah, that's extremely good then. Yeah. Okay, so we talked a little bit about things that are changing, and as a new captain of the Dutch team, what do you think that's going to be your role in next year's WTC with the new missions, new meta? What's going to be your role in the team?
Well, the thing I place for myself, and I have a team goal, which I will tell the rest of the team the moment I've talked with everybody. Because during the training day, we had about 6 out of 8 players, which is really good.
Yep.
Chatted with almost everyone, and I wanted to see what their personal goals were, what the goal for the team is on their point of view. And for me personally, I really want to build a really semi-professional team, as in the last couple of years it was always, or for the Dutch team at least, we go there with a number of friends. We're gonna have fun, we're gonna kick ass and take names, and sometimes we prepare more or better than other times. And now I just want to go full Monty.
Yeah, and we like, okay, we already said last year's, okay, we're gonna do training days, and then I think we did the last 2 years we did maybe 2 in a year, or maybe 3, or let's just keep it at not enough. And that's something that where we kind of come in as Alliance Open together with you, is like saying, okay, we're gonna provide you with a monthly day to play as Dutch team, practice on new WTC terrain because we have enough terrain on our workshop, and make sure that we have like the best possible preparation, like we can give you, right, like Alliance Open.
Yeah, it's, I'm really happy with the location and with the training days, and from there on out, if we're still missing people or if we're looking for players, first I want to have some training days with the team now, and then we'll look for even more people, because I want to go to a probably 11-man team, so 1 coach, 8 players, and 1 or 2 backups.
Yep.
Because we have seen that almost every year at least 1 player has to drop for personal reasons.
Yep. For whatever reasons, yeah.
Whatever reasons, so having at least 1 extra is really good. And for me as captain, I'm choosing the team mostly myself, but also in accordance to the other people. I want to fix the training days with you guys. I want to build a team, and then also create maybe a little bit more competitive Dutch scene. I mean, there's
Yeah.
still people that want to play competitive, but they either don't know about us or they don't. They're not that competitive.
Or they're scared. Like, okay, the WT scene is like elite, and when you are not elite enough, you're never gonna get in because there's always like a certain vibe around it, around the national teams. Also in the other WTC teams, like, okay, when you're not part of the team or not part or not friends with them, you cannot be part of the team, which is
Not true.
it's not true. It's harder to get in, but if you don't make the first step, it's not like the WTC team is going to say, okay, everybody can come to a tournament and the top 8 is going to play in the team. No, you have to like be progressive and say, okay, if you want to play with us, come show us what you got, right?
Show what you got, and we. I think last year I got in with the idea of, you know what, everybody who wants to join can send an email to this address. We also now have a Facebook group. It's still called the ETC Netherlands 40k ETC Netherlands team. Facebook
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, if you look 40k in the Netherlands, you're gonna find it.
40k and you know, a couple of people attended and wanted to train. Some people sent me an email telling me that they want to come. Send them some dates. Some people were not available. They couldn't make it. You know, it doesn't matter. Everybody's welcome that wants to train, but people need to. Some people need to learn the game even more. I mean, we have a couple of guys that still need to get the finesse tricks. I mean, if somebody 8th edition get out of a vehicle, it doesn't have to mean holding within 3 inch. So you could
stuff like that, like the small little tweaks to get you that step.
Get the extra step. No,
Yeah.
It's now the 9th. I mean, fine, but yeah.
So what do you think that, I mean, you played the WTC or the ETC 2 years ago for the first time, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say has changed in your game that made you a better player now than before you started playing for the ETC team or the WTC team?
Well, the biggest joke I always make is that, or my old captain, or Michel, used to say, the moment you get into WTC, it's the best players in the world, or a lot of the best players in the world, because it's only 8 teams per country.
Yep.
And I was just getting into the Dark Elder army, which was recently new then. In one of my 2 4-day armies, but I was doing pretty well. And then ETC, I got my ass kicked 3 times.
Yeah.
So yeah, it gets you a more what do you call, not a laid back style, but a more proactive style. Where
another perspective in the game, right? It gives you that extra layer that makes you like, okay, now I understand why all those guys in America at their podcast are like, okay, well, this is good, and you're like, well, I don't think it's that good. Like, it gives you the extra edge to give you that plays that you normally would not see in a less competitive meta, right?
It's not gonna, you know, if you're going to your local gaming store or you play with 4 or 5 friends every week or every month, and you're the best player out of those 5, and then you go to a tournament, say, you know, one of your GTs. It's always funny to see people that, oh yeah, I'm one of the best players in City X, and then they go to a GT and they meet a couple of other Dutch players or English players and they get their ass kicked.
Yep.
And you're like, oh yeah, it was all the Dutch. No, well,
yeah, and that's when you and that's when you have like the different. There are 2 kind of people. Then there's the one that wants to improve and say, okay, I want to join maybe the WTC or I want to join the more competitive scene. And the other one says, okay, I cannot win this. I'm gonna stay at my stay in my lane. I'm just gonna play at my local meta and maybe come to a tournament once or twice a year, right?
Yeah, which is also fine.
Which is fine, yeah.
It's so multifunctional. If you want to paint, if you want to play, if you want to build, if you want to go super mega competitive, if you want to go kick my ass, I mean, more than welcome.
If you want to play 2 Stampas, you're welcome, right?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, so So I mean, right, you've made it into captain in 2 years, but it's simply because we're such a close community that it's not a, like Michel doesn't have time at the moment with his kid, and
We're
um,
small. You see it in Belgium, in Luxembourg, in Wales, technically. We have a lot of people, but not a lot are competitive, or they don't know where to go or who to ask. And I really love to expand that. I mean,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of kids or a lot of young guys around who go like, "Oh, I really want to be the best," Pokemon style, and then just don't know where to go. So, and I think that Lions Open did a great deal for the Dutch community already, with having at least I think 3 or 4 big events a year.
yep,
And now with the coming super major, I think it's the first technically in Europe because LGT is now not Europe anymore,
nope,
and
and
it's not 3 days.
it's not 3 days, yeah,
Not 3 days. No, but people who really want to get into WTC, just ask on the Discord. The line's open. I think at almost every AO tournament as well. So if you
I think
ever
I've never
have
missed you actually. No, I don't. I think
uh,
you went to
one,
all of them.
one, one double event, I didn't go.
Okay, well, you're excused.
Yeah,
So simply saying, okay, we see that the WTC is kind of growing.
yeah,
We changed to the ETC changed in the WTC, and there was always that like, okay, the WTC or the ETC has different rules packs than the normal ITC has, and now what we'll see is that they actually will merge into each other and say, okay, we have one mission pack worldwide. What do you think that will actually, what would that mean for the meta worldwide? What will we see next WTC?
I think that yeah. Let's say it this way: it's really nice to not have to learn 2 mission packs, and I am pretty sure that the WTC will have some FAQ ready. I think this week, maybe end of the week,
Yeah.
because there are still some little holes in the rules pack. A lot already has been fixed since yesterday, but yeah, there's still some loopholes. Can you fire and fade when deep striking? Yes or no?
Yeah.
It's one of the discussions I'm having with a couple of elder dudes. Um, the smite thing got fixed, but worldwide, I think there will be less and less problems and discussions because everything will have one gaming factor. And GW has a lot of playtesters nowadays, of which I think a couple of the WTC guys are already in there.
Mm-hmm.
So they will fix problems that are or are not fixable, or they will make a ruling on it. Just worldwide, yeah, I'm just seeing it as a big improvement where everybody's playing the same game.
So do you think that like maybe next year with WTC we could have some surprises from countries that are normally like mid tier and now they're okay, I can practice both ITC and
And
ETC. Like I practically do the same mission pack, so I can practice the whole year long.
yeah,
And now maybe you can see some countries like New Zealand or maybe Australia, which usually plays ITC, can suddenly play WTC the whole year long, and maybe they can like jump to another level and say, okay, I'm going to be a real competitor next to the Germanys, the Polands, the Englands, and like I mean, like the
well,
big dogs.
I think Australia was third last year. If
Yeah,
I'm not
okay, not
mistaken.
Australia, but maybe like the other like other countries. Maybe even the Dutch team. I mean,
Yeah, that would be amazing if we can pull that off in a year.
we have
Fingers
the
crossed.
talent. We have the talent. Actually, I think we
Yeah,
do.
well, we have a couple of really good guys who we just need to steamroll into all the gimmicky stuff that the English and the Russians, for example, are doing really well. There are some little gimmicks which people are interpreting into a good way for them. But New Zealand is going to be, I think, one of the new countries that's going to attend.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, as far as I'm aware, I think we will grow to about 42 teams.
Yeah, because
Next.
there are going to be Asian teams as well.
Yeah, we're gonna. As far as I'm aware, it's gonna be Argentina grew added. We got New Zealand, Japan. I think there's something about China's coming up.
Yeah, there's like like a Grand Asian Alliance or something like that. Like there's going to be like a special rule for them that they don't have to be from one country, but they could like do China, Thailand, like a few countries to make a team.
Make a team, yeah. So the community is growing everywhere, and we're really happy with it. And just seeing a lot of new countries and everybody doing the same stuff, I'm pretty sure that somebody will come up with something so horrendously stupid that nobody saw that.
Yeah, like the 84 Nurgling list that someone came up with. Like, okay, that's not the best list, but in WTC it could be vital. Like, I mean,
yeah. I mean,
that's the thing you can do with WTC, right?
Yeah, it's true. But I think Russia came at the beginning of 7. They had a list with I think 7 or 8 homunculuses when they didn't have the rule of 3 in a raider, and they go, oh, here's the Psycho army. Chuck them all out, and you do 83 mortal wounds and all Psychers.
Yep.
Which was nobody thought of. You go like, yeah,
that's smart. That's smart.
Smart. Or the what did they bring last year? Last year they had a Grey Knight army
with 2 hunters, like the Space Marines with 2 hunters in front. Say, okay, they're all toughness 8, smoke launches all the freaking way, -1 to hit, +1 toughness. Good luck.
Yeah. And you're thinking, what does this army do? I mean, 2 hunters, Grey Knights. We just shove the Knight player against it, and they go like, oh, cool. Yes, I normally table 3 Knights in 2 turns.
And now I do 3 in 1 turn.
Yeah. Like all the more wound spam they brought. And it's so fun and so cool to see what people can bring or how well they play. There's a couple of guys who just bring a really standard army. You look at it, so what? And then you play against the person. He's so good.
Yeah, the same with let's say like what the Americans tried last year, which did not work. But with okay, I'm gonna take 300 Gretchen. I'm gonna take a unit of Flash Gits, and I'm gonna control the board. And it didn't work because there were enough counts. But at least that's a list that you can only see in WTC. That you'll never see that in ITC or a normal tournament.
You see it in a singles event, and then there's a lot of those plays. I think Spain brought a brigade of Marines, and everybody goes like, 3 separate attack bikes and this and that, but the guy has so many units that you just can't kill it. And
he simply controls the board. Yeah.
Get all the points, wins.
Yeah, and that's the thing that differentiates. Like, it's the big difference between a singles. Okay, I'm gonna try to get every point that I can to help my team ahead, and it's not like, okay, I want to steamroll you because I want to go like I want to get the most points for singles. Okay, it's good to steamroll when you can in the WTC, but it's not necessary if you score your points, right?
True. It's the entire team event is what makes some lists really weird, in the fact that you have to play as a team and not as a single person. So some people are gonna take a hit for the team. For example, if you take out the best player of country X, they have 7 other players who we can then match our list against, and if we can mix and match them properly, we can take win out of it. If you have the best player in the world and you can just throw an army that doesn't have any good matchups against them, you give away back in the days it was 20 points, maybe it's going to be 90 now, but you'll take 630 for the rest. And that's what makes it very funny and weird sometimes, especially with lists. Are you going to bring 200 sisters now, just play the mission, sit on primaries, get 45 on secondaries?
Yeah, it's going to be boring as hell, but it works.
But it works, and then you get tabled in turn 4 with 90 points.
Yeah, I already have my points, so I'm going to go drink a beer and have fun.
Yeah. We'll have a beer. Oh, you have 70 points? Okay, GG, bye-bye.
I have 90, so I win. Yeah.
All win.
Yeah, so true. Okay, so we talk WTC. We have like a vision of what you think works and what's gonna happen.
Like
Now we can actually talk super major. I mean, you already have a feel for the ninth edition. Um, do you have any idea what you're gonna bring?
the super major.
Yeah.
If Harlequins get a codex before then, which they don't, just for ITC reasons, I'm probably just gonna go Harlequins and give myself a really big fucking challenge.
Well, if you lose one, if you lose the first and you win 6 games after that, you'll actually you can be third because you have like losing one doesn't mean anything at the moment. So if you, I mean,
you're gonna do battles.
it does mean that you cannot become first, but with 7 rounds, you can lose one and still be top 3.
Yeah, but how are you gonna do the points? Because are you gonna do win-loss or are you gonna do battle points?
We're gonna do battle points and then a Swiss pairing. So if you win, you get a +1,000, and if you draw, it's a +500, and if you lose, it's 0 points.
Yeah, so it's a mix. So if you would have won, if you win 7 out of 8 games, you get 7,000 and something.
And then some, and then you can actually become third easily. Actually.
So you're not gonna do a finals where you do 6 rounds.
No, because we actually have an undefeated winner. We have enough rounds to have an undefeated winner.
It's gonna be 256 max, right?
Yeah, and then you'll always have a drop.
32.
So it's like first you're going down. I usually turn it around. You have one winner in the end. So the round was, so you have 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, and then you would go to 256, but you'll always get a drop. So you get down to 255, and then you go back to 7 rounds. So that's enough. So that's actually something we thought about already. Like, okay, how can we make sure if everyone comes, if nobody drops, and we have 256 players, we're gonna have a problem, and then we have to play or we have to play in the next round, or we're gonna say, okay, the one with the most battle points win.
If you have 256.
Yeah, then you would need an 8th round, and else you do not need an 8th round.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do 8 rounds.
I think it's 2, 3, 2. Because of people wanting to see Holland, actually. So, and that's something we can actually discuss, because if we find out that games can be 2 hours 45 minutes because of the five turns, armies are smaller, we can actually maybe go to 2-4-2 or 2-3-3 or whatever. But it's, I mean,
I would start with more mission. Well, it's Friday, right?
Yeah. You don't want to do Friday 3 games. You don't want to do that. You want to stay Friday 2. But that's something we'll let everyone know. So that's not going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's not going to be a problem. It's more thinking as in if I really want to go for the win.
Probably Marines, because Marines come out in October.
It's either Marines, Prawns, or Custodes, or Harlequins, depending on how well I get them in the fingers, you know, as we like to say. Yeah, it depends on when is the Marine Codex coming out.
How good is it?
Yeah, how good is it? Well, it's as good as the last one. It's gonna be.
Yeah. We've seen enough leaks to know where this is going, right?
And it also depends for secondaries. If Marines and Prawns are gonna be there, and they're gonna have some super silly easy secondaries like the Maelstrom cards.
Then there's probably, if they are the only one, there's a big chance we'll say, okay, until all are released. There's a big chance that a chapter, normally you have a chapter approved, like the first chapter approved ever, actually got some faction specific stuff, like a relic or whatever. There is a big chance that they'll do that with this as well. I think. I mean, releasing one secondary for each faction, if you're gonna do Krons and Marines, it would be fair to the whole game to have like everybody has like a secondary to choose for. Okay, so Ruud, I think it actually was a very good talk. We did like a nice go around in everything that is 40K at the moment. It is
Touched
kind
on.
of chaotic, but
So
it's
you
very
forgot
fun.
got the painting part.
Sorry,
I said you forgot the painting part.
the painting part.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What do you mean with the painting part? Yeah, I'm not painting any. I'm currently not painting anything at the moment. So.
I was painting Imperial Fist last weekend at Scars Major Madness Course.
Oh yeah,
So
you went
actually
to the workshop, right?
I can now really nicely can paint Imperial Fists. I think I can do 100 guys in a week now. Tips and tricks, airbrush, boom.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna dare
Uh,
you because then I'm gonna put you under pressure. But let's say I just want to see the end result. If it,
yeah.
okay,
I'm not sure if it's gonna be on the Super Major, although I technically have a rule. No, I don't have a title to defend, right? Because it's only gonna be next year, the Iron Man.
the Ironman's gonna be next year, so
So I have to defend that one.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool.
okay, so let's just say that everyone listening, everyone watching this is gonna see your painted army somewhere in the future with a full
Somewhere.
Imperial Fist done
Yeah.
by Ruud with airbrush and everything.
Airbrush.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I had a blast talking to you, but I mean, I'm gonna start this tradition with everyone that I speak to. So that's the final question. What weapon will you take into a duel with an unknown Warhammer 40K character? You don't know which it will be. So what weapon would you take?
Dagger Rose all day.
Okay, okay. Spoken like a real pointier, right?
Like a real clown.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Ruud, thank you for speaking with us. If there's something you still want to say, if you want to do a shout out or anything, you have the time. The floor is yours. And then after that, I'm just gonna sign off.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, and I think mostly I want to ask everybody in the Netherlands who wants to be on the WTC team, doesn't know what it is, feel free to talk to me at any AO events. I am on Discord. I do not have a podcast, but yeah, just ask the guys from Lines Open. Look me up on Facebook, whatever.
If someone asks, I can easily put you in contact with them.
No game without terrain.
And we're back.
The sound died.
Sound died? No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. Okay. Well, something happened. Neil said the sound died. I don't know.
Not as far as I know.
Call, please tell us, and it's all good. Okay. Let me check. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're good.
yeah,
I know
okay.
we're good. Oh, I know we're good.
I think your sound died, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it died at the end of the video.
Might be a
a little glitch.
glitch thingy. Yeah, you know,
So
internet.
it was a good talk with Ruud.
It was, yeah.
It was 2 days ago, so the WTC FAQ actually dropped already. So it gives a lot of extras to the game.
Yeah.
Which needed clarification. So I think sometimes the WTC or the ETC FAQ actually changed the game, but the WTC FAQ right now does not change the game, which is good. It just clarifies everything that needed to be clarified.
Sweet.
And I think the Dutch team actually has a very good captain with Ruud.
Yeah, he's a very good player. He's very insightful. So.
Yeah, and he has a heart for like the community. He sometimes seems like a little bit. I don't really give a damn. but he actually is one of the.
Under that cool exterior beats the heart of a caring man.
He's so soft on the inside.
Yeah, he is kind of squishy.
Yeah. So I think that we are, as Lions Open, are very happy that we can still give the Dutch team what they deserve because they represent Holland. And,
Yeah.
I think they do that with a good they always try their best, and I think they want. I think they do better every year, except last year was a bit meh. But yeah, I think I went 2 times.
Yeah.
Did I went 2?
Yeah.
2. Yeah, 2 times.
I never went.
I think it's the best tournament I've been to, simply because of the team feeling. That's it. It's just okay. I'm gonna go with friends to another place.
See,
usually it's not that it's quite cheap because it was in Croatia or in Serbia.
Mhm.
So and it was in Prague. So I went 3 times.
Okay.
I went 3 times. So yeah, I think it's because of that, because of the team feeling, and because you're in a good country with good food, good friends. Everyone around the world comes to that game. It's awesome.
Yeah.
If you get the chance, do it.
Well, I mean, it's WTC, right? So
Yeah.
it's team paced. So I was always because I know Michel, right? He was the previous captain, and it was usually, at least it seemed to me, like the same group of people that just kept going because
Yeah.
But now it seems like it's going to be more. You have to kind of sort of audition, almost audition, to be in the team because they're trying to make the team better.
Yeah.
So if you want to be in the team, you have to come there. You have to show what you got, like Ruud said. And if you're good enough, you're in. If you're not good enough, it's simply too bad.
Yeah, and you can always try. I mean, the thing is with the WTC is that the years before this year is like this year it was like okay, it's hard for the Dutch community to get a group of 8 to 10 people who are willing to spend the money.
Yeah.
Who has the time and who is willing to commit, like do a monthly training day or whatever. That's actually quite a commitment.
Yes, it is. Yes.
The community was not ready for it, and right now the community is ready for it. So I think
Yeah.
that's the thing that changed.
I mean, it'll probably make for better teams, so that's very cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's hope they get maybe go top 25%.
Yeah. Have we ever won?
No.
No?
We
Have we ever gotten close?
We have not even come close.
No.
But when I was in Prague, I guess,
Yeah.
if we would have won the last game,
Yeah.
we would have been top 8 or something,
Okay.
which would be very good. So
I mean, how many countries enter?
usually around 32.
Okay.
And Neil already said there's going to be a lot more teams next year because there's a lot of Asian team coming. So Vietnam, Korea, China, Japan, and you know what they do with gaming on a not tabletop gaming. If they play as well as they do on a computer, we're gonna have some problems.
Yeah, for some reason. Well, not for some reason, but Asians pretty much always, whenever they compete in especially like PC gaming or what have you, they are usually among the best, if not the best.
Yeah.
But because usually they're the kind of people that spend lots of time and really dedicate themselves
training.
to
More training than playing.
Yeah.
So I think for 40K, I think it's safe to say that a lot of Asians know how to do math really well because it's such an important part of their education. So when you can calculate your odds on everything that you need to do, there's a bigger chance that you do the right thing. Yep. And if you can do it quickly,
that's the thing.
That's why I play Dark Angels. I know the odds for my Dark Angels.
Exactly. But with WTC, it's not always a given that you'll play your army. Like sometimes it can say you're going to play this army.
I played orcs 2 years ago.
Yeah, there you go.
And I never played orcs.
Right.
And I'll never play orcs again.
No? Was that terrible, huh?
The randomness of those smasher guns really gave me a bad gaming vibe.
You don't have the stomach for it.
Games, but I don't know. Orky is too random for me.
Yeah, really.
Give me something I can count on.
Okay.
It doesn't even have to be good, but give me something that I know that'll happen.
Yeah.
So I love orcs. Playing against them, I'm playing against it right now. I love it, but no, it's not.
I love playing orcs, man. Orcs are the best.
It's not made for
They can be real good too.
Yeah. So WTC, very happy. We're going to talk more in the future about WTC. I actually asked Neil 10 minutes ago if we could do a talk with him as well.
Okay.
And Neil is actually the main ref, like the head ref of the WTC, and is one of the main organizers.
Okay.
I think I don't know if he's a chairman, but he's like, everyone knows Neil.
Yeah.
So I think it's very good to have him on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have a blast because he's well spoken, he knows everything about the game. He said he's playing a new army, so we can talk to him about it as well. And he actually asked the WTC team to maybe come over to Sweden to do a training weekend. I mean, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah, that's a fun idea.
So I'm gonna talk with Ruud and see if we can make that happen.
Make magic happen, man.
Make magic happen. Okay, so that was WTC talk.
Yeah.
I think we can maybe do a weekly or maybe monthly talk about WTC because there's a lot of changes going on.
Okay.
So that could be another segment.
Oh, more segment.
And there's actually coming one right up now, right?
Yeah, we can do that now.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for it.
Yeah, Stefan has been waiting for this all week.
Yeah.
All week.
Oh, all week. I mean, I mean, I've been playing around with it in my head, and then I proposed it yesterday, I think, and you said, well, let's just do it.
Let's just do it.
So today it's time for the first iteration of. Well, let me just put it on. Really. Hold that thought. Today is the first iteration of
Rants of Fury. Rants of Fury.
Alright, I'm back. I'm going to ask. Alright, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, now with audio.
You found the sound button,
I mean, it's Rants of Fury. It's called Rants of Fury for a reason. Welcome to the very first installment, ladies and gentlemen, of Rants of Fury. Before I start, disclaimer. This is purely for satire and fun, and is intended to be taken with the largest grain of salt you can possibly get. Okay, so we love you, Games Workshop. Please don't sue us. But with that said, yes, folks, it's time for the first installment of Rants of Fury. You see, there's something oddly satisfying about spouting out all the frustration you have with a unit. You know, tell the developers how they messed up in every way imaginable. You know, really get worked up. Write that anger and frustration to a rising crescendo of nerd rage the likes no one has ever seen before. You know, shout like a moron in your own room at the book while people outside the street are watching, judging, or possibly contacting the police again. You know, have your spouse come in and threaten to throat punch you if you don't stop screaming. And then reluctantly calm down a bit before reading the next infuriating thing in the book and start raging all over again. And today, in this week of Rants of Fury, it's Gaskell Thraka. He's the biggest of the big, the meanest of the main. It's Gazzy, and he's supposed to be the epitome of orky cunning and ferocity. He's nigh unkillable, devastating in close combat, and whipping all the orcs around him into a proper killy war. But, is he all that? Well, yes and no. I mean, mostly no. So fuck anyway. Here's my review. Special bits, or as I like to call, special rules. So here's Gazzy. He's the Grand War Boss. So this ability prevents Gaz from breaking clan benefits for joining a detachment from another clan, because he's a goth. It's pretty nice, because that means you can use him in all the other clans without breaking the clan rule. So, kind of nice. I gotta admit, it's a nice touch, but one of the precious few, mind you. So this next rule is Goths is the best. Reroll once to hit for the Goth clan units with melee weapons. While gee whiz golly, reroll once to hit. Just for Goth orcs though, mind you. Apparently all the other clans are less impressed by the appearance of the Goth of the Prophet of Gork and Mork. Or maybe they don't quite understand Gazzy's weird dialect, I don't know. Meanwhile, the entire galaxy is filled to the other brim with chapter masters waving their emperor fetish rods around, shouting, "Go on, lads! Reroll everything, it's on me!" I mean, really, would it have hurt to just give good old Gaz the reroll everything aura for every clan? I mean, he is the prophet of Gork and Mork, and combat is kind of their thing, kinda. So, Goths is the best, more like Goths are kind of ever so slightly better. Great War. Run and charge for infantry units within 6 inch. The real reason really you take any war boss, except Gaz is an infantry and it doesn't affect himself. So he used to be slow as fuck, so I have to give Games Workshop props for this one because it got fixed recently though. So now he does affect himself. I guess they saw this rant coming. I wonder what happened. Maybe the wires in his mega armor legs finally got reconnected. I don't know. So also gives +1 attack to infantry units if they charge. Can't really find anything wrong with that. I like the fact they have to charge. It's orky. I wonder why it's only for infantry though. Wouldn't be nice if dreads and stuff like that get it. I mean, they are piloted by orcs, and again, he is the prophet of Gork and Mork. So, speaking of Gork and Mork, it's an actual rule, ladies and gentlemen. Prophet of Gork and Mork, 4-up invul, and he can only ever lose 4 wounds in any phase. Well, to be honest, this is interesting. It's the first in a 40k for so far as I can remember. Makes him pretty tanky against armies that really only deal damage in one phase of the game. The ability is negated for a large part against armies that do good damage in multiple phases. Still, it guarantees he will at least not be alpha striked in one turn. So, you hate to see the leader of the entire orc race get deleted in one turn. But see? I can be nice as well, though I think this could have been taken up a notch. You know what I mean? Satisfied isn't something I do here in this segment. So, final special rule: the boss is watching. Units within 6 inch that fail a morale test can choose to pass instead by taking D3 mortals. So the basic orc warboss ability, really. So why not just immune to morale, right? Again, he is the prophet of Gork and Mork. Although now I think about it, the idea of Gaz just whacking orcs back into shape with a ginormous claw, well, that just warms my green heart. Yeah. Still, I can't help but feel there's a missed opportunity here for something more, like something more fluffy. Survivey bits, or in other words, how tough is he? What's the first thing we look at when we check out a character profile, boys and ghouls? Wounds, that's right. Gazzy has 12, which means, sad face, he's targetable. Never a good thing, really. But if he's tough enough, it's not the end of the world either. So let's see, toughness 7, 2-up save and a 4-up invul. Not bad, but not something that some decent firepower can't bring down in a single turn. Luckily, he can only ever lose 4 wounds in any phase, because he needs it. It's hard to say just how effective this ability is. I think most armies can deal damage in 2 phases of the game, as I said before. Even though Gaz is big and a monster, you can still protect him from charges by screening, kinda, sorta, hopefully. But you can't heal him with a pain boss, nor can you give him a 6-up Philippine either. Evidently, Gaskell's massive frame is just too big to put a band-aid on his boo-boo. Not even Mad Dog Grotznik, who in the fluff, mind you, is in his personal retinue, can do anything to keep him up and running. You need a stratagem to use a really big special band-aid that says, there, it's okay, we all need a little help sometimes. My guess is, without playtesting, because I haven't played him, because, I'm mad, he'll survive through 3 rounds when he's being targeted. Against the right opponent, this can potentially be amazing, or at the worst, enough to get him at least through 2 rounds. In any case, he's on the clock. He needs to get into combat and do his business to make him worth the points His inability, which is now fixed to run and charge, didn't help, but at least he can do that now. So he's fairly fast. I mean, he runs 7 inches and then he can run and charge. So that's okay. At least you can deep strike him to make him avoid a round of shooting and stuff. So there's that as well. But that's all extra investments of CP you have to make him work at top of his already pretty high points cost of 300. Killy bits. Or how hard does he hit? His combat power is pretty decent. He starts out with 5 attacks, nothing super remarkable, but, not bad either. He hits on 2s, rerolling 1s because, Goths are slightly better than the rest of the clans. His Gork's Claw gives him double strength for 14, with an AP of -4 and flat damage 4. Now that's pretty damn solid, if not a little bland. It would be nice if I had something extra to give it flavor. I mean, he's a monster. His stats change as he takes wounds. So his attacks actually increase up to 7 on his lowest bracket as he gets angry. You wouldn't like him when he's angry. I find the idea of different levels of psychotic anger appealing though, so that's a kudos for you, Games Workshop. His strength goes down though, to only strength 5 on his lowest bracket, but still that's strength 10 with his claw, so not really super relevant. All in all, he has the potential to do a lot of damage in close combat, although I feel it's really not what it should be. Again, in case, you missed me saying it before, he is the prophet of Gork and Mork. Shooty bits. So like any orc, he has a ballistic skill of 5 up. Nothing shocking there. I mean, I can't really ask for much better. He's got a gun called Mork's Roar. An assault 12 weapon with strength 5, AP -1 and damage 1. Unimpressive to say the least. I get that he's an orc, and orcs aren't meant to have super impressive shooting, but again I feel that this just misses the opportunity for some flavor. Isn't the whole point of special characters to have their own unique flavor? Also, don't orcs love to tinker with weapons to make it do crazy stuff? It's called Mork's Roar for Mork's sake. Make it do something cool, like when it shoots, it's so loud that surrounding orcs get super riled up and get +2 inches to the charge. I don't know, I'm just spitballing, but something cool, Or at least make it damage 2, Games Workshop, you dummies. So, verdict. So, here's the big question. Is Gazi worth the 300 points? Answer? Yeah. It's a shame, really. I kind of feel like sobbing quietly in a corner. I feel like they gave him some unique rules, like the cap on wounds, so he can suffer, in any phase. And the fact that he gets more attacks when he's hurt, but he doesn't really cut it. I feel he's bland. He doesn't have any special rules, and he doesn't bring enough to the table to justify investing in his point cost. He has too many restrictions, most debilitating of which is the fact that he's a monster. So you can't use any of the good stratagems on him, and you can't put him in a transport. Thinking about it, though, I love the fact that he is a monstrous creature, to be a little bit more on the positive note here, because in the fluff, he's called the Beast of Armageddon. And he should be, but he's not. He just misses out on any real flavor. Where's mention of his titanium skull? Remember that? That used to give him like a headbutt attack. It wasn't going to kill anyone, but it was cool. Where's his super wall ability, where something really awesome happens, and not just +1 attack? I mean, for 90 points, I can make a war boss with warlord traits and relics that are basically similar in offensive output. In fact, I would argue the generic war boss would be better, seeing as though he's only got 7 wounds, so I can hide him. And I can fight twice with him. And I can fight with him when he dies. And, well, many more things. So, in short, Gaskull's cool, but he's not that cool. He's and it makes my heart sob. And that's my rant for this week.
Where's the fury? Where's the fury?
Where's the fury?
Just scream a little. Just do a little scream.
Let's go back to Friendly Fire Fridays. Oh, and now I'm gone here again. Okay, just a sec, guys. I'll bring
I'm here.
Yeah, you're here, but I'm not. I'll bring myself back.
So, there was, a Rant of Fury. And I really liked the fact that I think this is going to be a weekly thing. And next week I'm going to pick something. And my brother actually gave me one. And I'm still wondering if I should do it. So, I'm just not going to spill any beans yet.
No?
No, not yet.
But
if you have any like suggestions, Chris or Neil or Meedles or whatever, whoever's watching, just give us a suggestion. Think about a unit. When you think about it, you just like wanna scream or do the ugly thing that Stefan just did. Yeah, if there's one unit that makes you do that, let us know, and we can do a rant of fury about it.
Yeah, Akras already made a suggestion. Valerian and Alea still not having faction keywords after months and months. Yeah. I mean, there's sad things like that, but it's fun to rant about.
You should just play like Blackstone Fortress or something.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, so it's
Competitively.
yeah.
Let's play Blackstone Fortress competitively.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we came to like a little end to our current episode actually.
Yeah, we did. I mean,
we have to talk
another
about
one
a
in the
game.
books.
We have to talk about a game.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
So just for you guys to know, we actually tested one of the missions that we chose for the No Surrender.
Yes.
We chose mission 32,
Yes.
which is search and destroy. So table quarters with 5 objectives, and if you hold an objective until the other player secures it, it'll stay yours. I picked. I have 20 Terminators in my list, so I dropped them. 25 actually. So this is my first time. 25 Terminators.
That's a lot of Terminators.
Yeah, so I didn't get turn 1, which is kind of big for me because I have to hold back 1 turn to make them drop. So I actually gave. So he simply has the board at the moment, and I have an uphill battle, which is okay because I need to train my like WTC skills and get every point I want.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna make sure that I get every point that I can get. I'm gonna get, and make him work for it, make him sweat. I think, looking at it right now, I picked Deploy Scramblers as a secondary.
Yeah.
And I think with the amount of units I have, I should never pick that one.
Yeah, you kind of need. It's very useful if you just have small, throwaway infantry units.
Yeah, and usually the thing I drop on the table are Terminators, which you don't want to do a turn of nothing.
No, you don't want. That's an expensive unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're actually in turn 2.5.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do my turn 3.
Yep.
And then we'll see what happens, and we'll let you guys know what will be the end score. And is there something else that we? So one thing that I want to keep reminding you guys: if you want something from our pre-order and you want a large bit, a large chunk of it, just let us know and we can see what maybe we can work something out, or maybe we can take it to the tournament. Or you want to buy something with your club and you just want to say, okay, I need some time to prepare this. Is this okay? Sure, man. I mean, I know Breda Strike Force is actually thinking about buying some stuff.
Okay.
If the
Cool.
Wardice want something, or maybe if the White Scars from Rotterdam want something, we're here for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're gonna finish our game.
We're gonna finish our game. We hope you guys had a nice episode again as
Yes.
well. We're gonna come back next week. We're gonna have a talk with Agnes about her.
That'd be nice, yeah.
If she wants to. We're gonna have a talk maybe with Neil if he can. So it's gonna be a great episode again. And I'm gonna do my Rant of Fury.
There you go. Next installment of Rant of Fury.
Okay, thank you guys. See you next week, and hope you have a great weekend.
Yeah. See you guys next week.